We're one step closer to LR, Trunks, and Broly. But what hidden potential should you give them, and what exclusive skill orbs should you grind out? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we have the newest quest mode stages, Chapter 5, Part 2, stages added to Area 32, and a new quest mode campaign going on for awakening the LR Trunks and Broly to their TUR state. At this point, we basically have them with all they need to fill out their hidden potential. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a little awakening guide. How do you awaken these guys? What do you got to do? What hidden potential is best for them? And which exclusive skill orbs should you grab for them? Because unlike some other free-to-play units, these ones have exclusive skill orbs and they make a huge difference on this card and actually make the card really, really good. So let's start off by talking about what the unit does as an LR. Again, on global right now, with the first part of this campaign, we are only getting their TUR, and which is still usable. It's pretty decent actually for a free-to-play quest mode TUR, but we're concerned with what they're doing at the LR status, because that's going to inform how we build their hidden potential. So they are time travelers, category key 3, HP attack DPS 80%. They will eventually easy A, bumping this up probably to 130 for free-to-play lead. They have a 12 key super attack that raises attack and defense for the turn, and on their 18 key they are raising attack and defense for the turn, causing mega colossal damage and lowering the enemy's defense. On their passive, they get key 4, attack defense 100%. They randomly change a type key sphere into rainbow key spheres when in slot 1 or 3 at the start of the turn. They get an additional key 2 per rainbow key sphere obtained, and an additional attack 20% per rainbow key sphere obtained. They also launch 2 additional attacks, each of which has a 30% chance of becoming a super attack. They have a high chance to form a critical hit rate, and have an additional attack and defense 40% when launching a super attack. They also get an additional 31% and damage reduction 8% for each super attack performed during the turn. So if all goes well, if they proc their 2 additional attacks, and let's say you give them additional in their hidden potential, they are launching the possibility of 4 super attacks. So 8% times 4. These guys post super, including their attack and defense raise, right? They are roughly, what is that? 8 times 4, 24% damage reduction on top of the all the extra attack defense they're getting for the orbs obtained. So to be completely honest, looking at their build, I would say that knowing that they are tech, their best build is probably either combo attack, right, additionals, or evasion, simply because they are a free-to-play unit, and for right now they have an easy aid, and their defense isn't going to be the highest as it will be upon easy A. But if you want to future-proof them, I would definitely say an additional supplement crit is probably good, just to kind of cover that little bit of crit. Remember, they only have a 50% chance to crit, and the reason I would say go with additional attack is because they only have a 30% chance to do it in their regular form right now, right? So as a tech type, they can get a max of 15. Now their exclusive hidden potentials are really going to inform that, because you'll be able to adjust this a little bit higher than you normally would on any other unit. So my recommendation is to go full additionals and supplement the crit, or go the other way, full additionals and evasion. Those are probably, I would argue, the 2 likely builds for them, but they can get some pretty insane numbers on their attack, so having the critical hit to back that up on the off chance you don't proc the 30% chance, very, very helpful. Now, speaking of that, well, if you do decide to supplement with those skill orbs, well, which are the best ones you should get? After all, with the new stages added in Area 32, starting from Stage 5 on to Stage 7, you can collect up exclusive skill orbs on the Trunks and BROLY. Stage 5 for the bronze skill orbs, Stage 6 for the silver, and Stage 7 for the gold. Now, if you're wondering which skill orbs are the best, well, it's a good thing JP has already had this out already, and they can kind of help us to inform what they're going to be doing. So you can see here that most JP players for the bronze pick the level 8 bronze defense node, so that is an 8,000 increase to their defense. It's a pretty big, or 800 defense rather, to their defensive ability, so very, very helpful. But you'll notice that for the silver and the gold, right, two of the top contenders in each one both add additional defense. So I definitely think, being that these guys are a free-to-play character, that is probably the way to go. For the gold slot, you'll probably want to go either attack and defense level 5, so this would raise it 1,500 in the gold slot for both the attack and defense, so that'll give them that little extra oomph on their attack and that extra survivability on their defense. Going with the super attack increase would not the same result, not quite as high as going with the attack increase, but it would get you the fairly same result. Remember that by grinding out these quest stages here, it's a very low drop rate for one of these, but the nice thing is while you're doing these, you're collecting up a bunch of incredible gems too. But the more you do it, the more likely it is that you will pull one of these drops for their hidden potential. So looking at that, where are we? On the silver, same thing. If you grind out that stage 6 until you get either the attack and defense 5, or in this case, I think the 4 and 3 defense are probably pretty lucky. There is a 5 and a 5, but again, the reason these ones are so popular is because, I mean, are you really going to be able to keep grinding and grinding and grinding out? As long as you can get at least, I think, one level 4, level 5 defense with either an attack buff or a additional attack buff, those are probably pretty good choices for them. And again, on the bronze slot, I would just keep going until you get that level 8 defense. It's going to be so helpful for them as a free-to-play unit, right? Because with the combo attack, again, they're already going to be having about 15 as a tech-type unit. So if you could, right, you could go for defense and combo on both the gold and the silver slot, and then go for the level 8 defense in the bronze slot, and then these guys will be cooking defensively, right? They're going to be able to tank most normals in the game at that point if you have that full defensive setup, and you go with the additionals to help kind of proc those extra additional super attacks for the defense raise. So definitely believe that those are probably the best orbs to grind out for them. And again, they are exclusive to these stages right here. Quest mode stage 32, stages 5 through 7. Now, many of you are wondering, well, I have my SSR trunks from the story mode from earlier and from the gifts that they have given out, but how do I awaken them? I don't know where to get the orbs. Well, that is an easy answer. The medals, you will need 318 of these medals right here, right? If you guys can see them here, if we can, oh, it doesn't show the image, right? But it's the Trunks and BROLY's medals, and these can be purchased through the Baba shop from with green incredible gems, and the same goes for the awakening to the LR status. You'll need 318 as well, I think, to awaken them to the LR status. So once you get to that point, you just head over to the Baba shop and grab those for the green incredible gems. Now, the nice thing is with the missions, you are getting a whole bunch of green incredible gems to exchange. More than enough to get at least more than enough to get the medals to awaken him. So you won't have to do that much grinding. But if you're grinding out for the skill orbs anyways on the stages 5, 6, and 7, you're probably going to pick up green incredible gems enough just by grinding these out, right? Like, I've already been grinding for this one right here, and I have already surpassed what I need for the awakening medals. So it's very easy to do. It's a simple awakening. It just can be tedious. Now, fortunately for us on Global, we have a bunch of missions to help us out get them. But I mean, if you're going to be grinding out for those skill orbs anyways, then you'll probably end up with more than enough to do it rather quickly. So anyways, guys, that is it for the video. That is my recommendation on the hidden potential build for the Trunks and Broly. I think the best build to take advantage of both their defense and their offense is an additionals with supplemental crit. You could go dodge for that little extra insurance, but they think that they'll be all right in most cases with the build, and especially if you invest in those high-level defensive skill orbs, they'll be fine with a couple additional supers or so. So anyways, guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what build did you go with for the LR, Trunks, and Broly? Did you lean into the additionals? Did you lean into the crit? Did you lean into the dodge? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.